Hey everyone, this is Mary Ann from the New York City Organization of Public Service Retirees. I have one of our retirees with us, and this is Margaret Bianculli. Margaret is actually the lead plaintiff in our copay case against the city. And today, I want everyone listening to this video to understand who she is, what the struggle that she's having is, and who could actually fix it. But it's really important for people to understand who retirees are, how much they make, what the decisions that they make that we are not part of, but they're being decisions are being made on us or for us that are having a very serious emotional, physical, financial impact on us. So, Margaret, where did you work when you worked for the city of New York?
I was in the Queens District, business teacher, high school, the New York City Board of Ed for 22 years, but I was a teacher for close to 40. I retired in 2013.
And when you retired, what was your pension or what is your pension today?
I
I
don't,
believe your pension's about
20,
$26,000, if I
yeah,
remember correctly.
yeah, okay.
Tell me a little bit about the struggle that you're having. We're going to talk about our copays. So, for the very first time in 60 years, the city in 2022 imposed illegal copays on us, which was what prompted the Bianculli versus City of New York lawsuit to stop the copays. And those copays didn't stop until about a year later. Because now, in that 1 year, can you tell me briefly what the copays did to you and your husband's household in having to pay that?
It's really hard for me to say right now. And I was a single parent, so I had a lot of expenses, and I could not take advantage of putting in the maximum to the pension or not taking loans from the pensions as the years went on. So as I retired in 2013, my husband and I retired together, and
When the
this
copays started to hit you in 2022, what happened? What was happening to you?
I had lost my mother. My husband had all kinds of amputations, all kinds of problems. And now all of a sudden I had to pay co-pays that I didn't have to pay before. I had stresses outside of my own little household to help my family and my mom. And now I had the added stresses of co-pays, paid and unpaid co-pays.
So you have two folders in which you're trying to keep track of these copays. The yellow folder is what?
That's my paid co-pays. The union lied to us. They've lied to us.
How are these copays this year impacting you and your husband?
I paid about $3,800 in co-pays and deductibles. Some of that is stuff I always had to pay that I can no longer pay. The stuff I had to pay, deductibles, I cannot pay.
Well, and
And they're not getting paid
your
because
deductible.
I have to pay the co-pays, otherwise I'll lose my doctors.
So your deductibles were always low. So let's lay that out really simply. Before the city and the municipal labor committee sacked retirees with these copays, you only had a very small deductible to meet for Emblem, which was $50 a year, and
Yeah,
then about less than $200 a year for Medicare. Once that was met, you didn't have any other costs. Once these
correct.
copays started hitting you, to my recollection of what you've shared with me, that you had now so far in the first 6 months of 2025, you paid just almost $3,500 in copays, which is about $2,500, at least, well, a lot more than that, $2,800 more than you were usually paying.
That's
Your
right. Add
deductible
that
was
to my
about two.
budget.
Your deductible was about, just let's just round numbers off. Your deductible was approximately $300 a year, not $3,500 in costs. So this puts you in such a situation right now, as you've expressed to me, that it's caused you great emotional stress, your husband stress. Your husband and you go to the doctor several times a week. Your husband had cancer, was dealing with cancer treatment several times a week, and every time you go, you were telling me you were getting hit with multiple copays per visit.
Yeah. Yeah. You go to the doctor, you get the copay. Now, we were told in the beginning, oh, don't worry about this. Only one copay. So you go to the doctor and you get a copay for the office visit, $15. And you get an x-ray, $15. Then you go get lab work, $15. Often they don't bill correctly. And so I have to sit here figuring out, I'm sorry.
Nope, good, it's okay. That's the stressor that we need Speaker Adams and Mayor Adams to understand is that you get these bills and then you have to sit with the explanation of benefits and compare them to make sure that you're not being overcharged, right?
Absolutely. And that happens. And then there's more and more phone calls that go on. So other things don't get done, like my electric bill. Oh, I forgot to pay it for 2 months. Or now I have to go to the pantry because, and we're blessed out here, we have multiple pantries a day. I have to go to the pantry now.
So right now, because of these medical costs that this administration has put upon us, you are now forced to take a part-time job
Yes,
and you are going to a food pantry to help offset some of your costs.
yes.
So in essence, the city of New York put you in medical debt and put all of this stress upon you.
I can't tell you how many doctor's appointments for me in order to keep my husband alive. I have had to I have had to cancel or reschedule so that I could fit it in the bill in my bills.
In your
I
budget.
My budget, yeah.
In this last few minutes, I want you to briefly tell Adams and Adrian Adams and the New York City Council, who isn't supporting or passing our legislation because the speaker's been blocking them, that if you had a couple sentences to say to them to impassion them to support protecting us right now, what would you say to them?
What you are doing to us when you're retired, you have a different life. I was blessed to have health while my husband did not. But because of what you are doing to me, I am not going to be able to take care of my husband for much longer because I do all the financial stuff in the house.
And you are representative of tens of thousands of retirees who are in the very same position. So I want to thank you for taking this time for sharing your very personal and emotional story. I don't know if the speaker or the mayor will listen to this, but I'm going to do whatever I can do to make sure that they do get to see it and they understand that by not supporting Intro 1096 to protect you from one, being forced into a Medicare Advantage plan, and two, predatory copays that they sacked us with in order to finance active worker contracts that you and I don't benefit from while we're making small pensions, forcing you to struggle emotionally, physically, and financially, and also preventing you from getting the care that you need and requiring more care because of the stress and your retirement, forcing you to get a part-time job and seek a food pantry. So I appreciate and respect you very much for coming on and sharing this very personal story with us. And I hope that we're able to continue to move the needle with getting the council and this mayor to support this legislation, Intro 1096, to help us. City council has an obligation. Even if the speaker doesn't want this bill passed, the council should look at what it's doing to the elderly and the disabled who earned their vested benefits and that they should be protected because we don't have a legal representation at any collective bargaining. We're not in unions, and yet we're being used to finance the union contracts that we don't benefit from. Retirees only get 1 to 3% increase every year on the first $18,000 of their pension, and that's if they make an $18,000 pension.
And I didn't make a lot of those raises while I was working.
We took these jobs for pension and healthcare, and we
That's
took
right.
lower wages
Right.
at that time throughout our careers to have the benefits we have today, not to have them stolen from us, literally out from under us to finance people, that are still actively employed, making 3 and 4 times of what we are taking home today. So, Margaret, I want to thank you for taking this time, and I'm sure we'll be following back up with you.
Marianne, if they care and they want to see me personally with you, I'll go in with you and whomever. I'll show them the documents. I'll show them what it has cost me. And
And what you still owe that you can't pay.
yeah, yeah. And just one last, yeah, thing. I can't pay what I was supposed to pay contractually wise because I have to pay what I'm not contractually f supposed to be paying in
I
order to keep
understand.
my doctors.
Thank you, Margaret. I'll be in
Thank
touch.
you, Marianne, for everything you do.
Say a prayer.
Yeah.